Let's just make up some numbers.
TDB! Episode number 19,645,642,536.
Your 3-year-old definitely did not come up with that. We are doing some tea, getting some caffeine.
Heck yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but I feel like that last tea was a little bit of a dud. So, we are moving on to some ripe.
Yeah, nice way to put it. I think, not every tea that you're going to have is going to be a home run. And it's good for us to bring on teas that are, like, nice, fancy, but also, like, not everyone loves them. Yeah, for me, it just didn't quite get there.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you didn't know the price, it might be less of a dud.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, hard to not have those things influence that. Wow.
So this is a ripe from white to tea.
Yeah.
This is one that I did in my ripe report. I thought it was quite interesting.
It's very interesting smelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a lighter ferment. So
okay.
probably is going to have a little bit of a different character as a result.
Nice.
Not a cheap ripe either.
Gotcha. Nice. One thing about W2T ripe tea in general, I always really enjoyed the thickness of it. I just feel like the mouthfeel of their teas tends to be quite nice. I'm kind of partial to ripe in general for that reason, I will say. One of my favorite parts about ripe tea is just how physical it is. So, looking forward to this.
Yeah.
And in terms of ratios, we didn't mention it last time because I just eyeballed it, but did you weigh this out?
I did. It's about 5 grams, 75 milliliters, so
Yep. Nice.
standard for me. And that's a real light color for ripe.
It is.
And so we will see if it's all like just the processing of this tea being a little bit more of a lighter ferment,
right.
Or it's also possible I underbrewed it. So we will find out shortly.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
Wow. Really strong date. Fruit. Really interesting aftertaste. So for me, really just straight, immediate date fruit, sweet. Really reminds me of the butter brick. Just at first glance.
Yeah.
And then I get this kind of like vanilla-y, starchy thing. Savory. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's brighter than you would expect.
Nose on it. So this really does remind me of those Baifu Kongzong Zhongfeng. Sorry, everybody. BFCZC.
Yeah.
Ripes, where it kind of that hybrid thing.
Yeah.
And those are also not cheap, so this might be an entry point to some of those similar flavors. Wow, interesting, very interesting, yeah.
I do think that first tea was a little light, in my opinion. So we'll let this one go a little longer.
Sweet. Quite fruity. Incredible mouthfeel.
Yeah. And you'll notice also that, like, those notes that Denny's giving is, already fairly different from the Red Pu'erh baseline. Like when we're talking like 7572 or like some Shalfa tool or whatever.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, quite bright and sweet and fruity. I'm tasting the wood on it, but it's not muted. It's just not the strongest part of this tea. Whereas I think when I think of ripe, I just think of wood.
I'm getting some nice antique wood notes off of this
definitely.
next one.
Interesting. In terms of the compression here, it's pretty light. Okay. The color of the soup is also beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this was one of the highlights of the ripe report. I thought it came out pretty good.
Yeah, nice. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice. Perfect balance. Now it's getting that fruitiness, but that dark wood character.
Yeah, some vanilla cream. Definitely in the kind of like... I mean, it tastes like a ripe at this point.
Yeah. Something on the nose on this is really distinct and particular. To your point about the oxidation of the leaves, actually a fair amount of variety.
I mean, look how light it is already,
Right.
and we would expect that to lighten up even more. So, yeah, definitely one where he's experimenting with the level of fermentation that he's giving this ripe.
Yeah, very interesting. And these are probably hard to replicate, I would think.
Yeah,
as a
probably.
result.
Yeah.
And no, what is this one called again? Sorry,
It's called the 2021 Reckless Daughter.
Reckless Daughter. Okay, I don't know if you actually mentioned that yet.
Yeah.
Nice. This is good. Do you know if you've made if Paul's made other batches of this one.
No, but this is still around. I don't even know that the price has gone up, so you can still definitely get it.
I'm such a not Y2T guy that I don't even know. So I only know from approving teas on the app, which I'm like so overdue for. So a couple of those, he's done a couple of vintages of the same tea, but for the most part, it seems like he does a lot of one-offs.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, he does quite a bit of productions every year, so I do think he kind of does both. But yeah, I assume that if a tea is a hit, then he'll go back to the well and do it again. But this is not one that he has redone.
Okay, very interesting. It has a lasting flavor on it that's quite different, almost nutty.
I could see it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you would get that if it was more of a full ferment.
Right.
Yeah.
This is very interesting, yeah. I like these teas. Would you drink this, rather, what context would you drink this in?
This context?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is one of those cases where TDB is the ideal context for this tea. You definitely want to have this with like a ripe drinker because it helps to contrast this versus like people's ripe baseline.
Right.
Because this is just so different. If you have someone like that's newer to tea, I mean, they might still enjoy it, but it would be a lot harder for them to be like, oh, I can pick at what makes this tea a little bit different.
Right. I agree. Be a little bit of a disservice to someone who's not familiar with these teas to show off that this is a little out of the ordinary.
I mean, that being said, you could totally do like a doggy ripe and then this, like, and then be like, wow, this is very different from kind of your standard industry standard ripe Pu'erh.
Would you find it in your drinking a way of incorporating this on a regular basis? Would this be kind of a daily profile for you? Is this kind of outside of your typical?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's like my ripe, I want it to be easy and casual.
Exactly.
And this has a lot of like the things I'd want from Bra in terms of like nuance, and texture and stuff. But it's a ripe, so,
Yeah, it's interesting. Because, I think you and I both, it's not quite like denigrating ripe to a breakfast brew only, but it fills that space for, I think, both of us a fair amount.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. And so for me, I look at these, it's rare that I will have a ripe after having another tea in my day. Put it that way. It's almost always the first tea I have, and then I'm done with it.
Sometimes I'll do a capper.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of like one of those like 4 steeps and done. Yeah, which kind of would fill a little bit of a waste for something like this.
Yeah, I agree. But this is more like, sit down with a friend who's going to enjoy it, and has some experience on something like this. Really, soak it in. Very interesting.
Denny, I expect you to come up with some good SAT words. Meanwhile, I'm going to push this because I think that would be interesting. Mom tests, probably no.
God, I don't know. It's not.
Do you think, so let me rephrase this. Do you think it does better or worse on the mom test than your average ripe?
Interesting question. Maybe better.
Yeah, maybe better.
Because
I think
it's sweet. It has a kind of softness. Like, I think when I think of my morning ripe, it's like not trying to be coffee, but it's
dark and thick.
Dark and intense. So this is just, I think, more approachable in general.
Yeah. Wartime test?
The real question.
Yeah. The most important question.
God, I don't know. I don't know. This one feels pretty like sleepy and relaxing to me.
Okay.
I'd say no. I'd probably be getting my throat slit in my sleep if I was drinking this tea. I'd be going down with like the before the I can't remember the Dune references. House Atreides gets taken over by who?
I can't help you there.
Anyway, comment below before the.
I do have a feeling there is a decent overlap with our audience.
Oh my god!
Dune.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm definitely not into Dune.
I'm not. I love the movies. I just me, I can't read, so. I didn't read the original Dune.
They are long books, aren't they?
They're long books, yeah.
Okay.
The original Dune is I think 700 pages, 600 pages. And then all the other ones, and there's some, it's all the extra ones.
Isn't this guy from this area?
That's an interesting question. No. Well, maybe you're thinking Neil Stevenson, who is from this area.
No, I don't know what that is. Okay, sure.
Cheers.
Clearly, I don't know anything about this.
More minerally. Tastes much more like ripe now.
I do like the more a little more texture, a little more mouthfeel, just with the strength of the brew.
For me, if I had to compare this to anything in terms of the flavor profile, again, that kind of like human nectar tea, such a crazy name, or something more affordable, again, the bottle break.
Yeah.
And just the date part of that.
I do think the human nectar is significantly more
Weird.
crazy tasting
Yeah, I agree.
than this.
Yeah.
This one is like maybe halfway there at most.
This is still ripe. It tastes like ripe.
I don't know what the human nectar just tastes like human nectar.
It's its own. That's where like the hybrid approach really does have its own flavor. I think this one is like close enough to the ripe category that it feels like a ripe. But
Yeah.
nice lasting sweetness. And on this last one, a bit of astringency, comparatively speaking. I think you did brew it stronger.
Yeah.
And now maybe a little bit of the light fruit dying off, and now some of those kind of more classic woody characters, minerals in here coming in.
In terms of characteristics that do make this stand out from ripe, but maybe overlap with raw, I think the aftertaste and the way it sits in the mouth and its depth, I think is definitely a standout amongst ripe, and that's something you look out for, especially in raw. A lot of times ripe is a little bit more of a shallow taste, which is fine. It's more of a flavor-focused thing than raw. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I think this kind of... I don't know. These fancy ripes often... I'm so intrigued by them, but they often occupy that tweener class where it's like it's sort of rawish, but not enough that I don't want to drink it, and ripe-ish in kind of its basic profile. So they're tricky to fit in, but easy to fit into the TDB schedule.
Oh, nice. I like this one a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It's good. It's but like the human nectar, I don't reach for it. Maybe once every 2 months.
So not very good on the sweet test.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's so unique. But it's nice. It's tasty.
Yeah.
Again, one of these ones where it's like, you come over, John comes over, someone...
Sam comes over.
Yeah, we go and break out some weird shit.
It's like...
And this is part of it.
It's a human nectar day, boys. We're getting wild here.
We go crazy.
It's boys' day out.
Yeah. You guys know TDB gets lit. We get lit, fam.
Yeah. How's your
6-7?
how's your 2-month-old?
Oh. Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna be. Do you think 6-7 will be a thing when we're at the 670 episodes?
Probably not. We're too far away.
I hope not. Yeah.
We gotta crank through a bunch.
Yeah. No. We must not. Mom test. Okay, speed test, blah, blah, blah. What are the other tests? I don't know. This is good.
What do we have? Costco sample test? I don't know.
Girlfriend test. Wife now, but I think she'd like this, maybe. I think it's pretty approachable, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you could totally make this like kind of a more routine, right? It would just be kind of a waste.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Do you want another one, or are you good?
I'm good for now.
Okay.
Feeling warm.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Y2T.com to pick this one up. I'd say grab a sample of this. This is interesting for me.
I definitely recommend grabbing a sample of this.
Yeah, I think this is a fun one. Certainly unique. We talked about it as if it's totally wild and stuff, but it's a if you have a ripe, it's a ripe tea. But definitely unique.
And it's one of the ripes that like it's light ferment, but it's not weirdly bitter.
No.
Like some of those fancy ripes can also get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's also a thumbs up.
Yeah, approachable, delicious. Hey, if you haven't subscribed but you're this far in the video, you have a mental health problem. You need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And also, you need to
gambling addiction. The state of Washington.
We'd like to, the Senate would like to speak to, so anyway, but subscribe, click all the buttons, do the things.
Don't bet on the prop that Denny wears a hat next episode.
Do bet on that prop because I'm fixing the outcome. And you just don't know what it's going to be next time. Ha! So until then.
I'm gonna die. Wu-Tang!
See you guys. Peace.